darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Why am I screaming? Because I'm excited to see you all. How are you all doing? Welcome back to yet another episode of Young, Famous and African. Episode 4, and the title is called Bitch. I was like, oh wow, it's a little bit violent. Let us start with a bang. And it is the opening scene with Annie screaming back into the hotel room in the arms of her bestie, who none other than Swanky. She's so excited because she's like, Swanky, guess what? Guess what? Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. And he's like, who? What? What's going on? And she's like, you know what? Two-Face, innocent, Two-Baba has proposed to her. He wants them to renew their vows, and she's over the moon happy. To see Annie this happy, you have to be happy for her. You look at her and you say, this woman has gone through a lot. She deserves joy. She deserves laughter in her world. And this takes her to another level. You can literally see the joy in her face. And Swanky is happy for her, you know, and he's like, well, so well deserved. Are you going to have another baby? And she's like, no, we have 7 kids already. And again, that's a very African thing, and that is kudos, salute to Annie. I'll give her that, because out of the 7, only 2 of them are hers. But all of Two-Baba's kids are her kids. So you got 5 baby mamas to deal with. And Annie's open-hearted to say, this is what it is. If I'm taking you back, I'm taking all of you. And I'm taking all of your kids too. So kudos to Annie for that. And in this scene, in this moment, I am extremely happy for you, Annie. I'm happy to see you, to see your joy. So upon the good news, Swanky says, you know what? Let us have a party. Let's have a soiree. So they go to this fabulous open-top outside restaurant and they invite the entire gang. Andali kisses and embraces Zari a little too close, a little too tight. I'm telling you. And Naked is like, because Andali comes over to Naked. And Naked is like, no, I don't want to hear it. So Andali is like, it doesn't matter whether you want to hear it. Did you see it? Did you see the excitement? Did you see the electricity? Did you see Zari flirting with me? And Naked is like, you know what? Give me my drink. Follow me with my drink to keep your hands off her chest. All right. And those were not his exact words. Anywho, Two-Face and Annie, they come in. Everybody's clapping for them. They're so happy for them. Congratulations. So they sit, they talk a little bit. And Annie's like, you know what? Two-Face and I have gone through a lot. So I'm really happy with what he told me the night before. He took acknowledgement and accountability for my pain, for my sorrow, for my tears. So we're here. Two-Face has got to go. He's always got to go. He comes in, he goes out. He's that kind of guy. He was here for 1 hot minute. Did you see him? What did he wear? Who did he talk to? Gone. That's just kind of vibe that I get from him. And I can understand how Annie just constantly doesn't have enough access of Innocent. So Innocent says, I gotta go. I've got a plane to catch. I came to, you know, tell my lady I love her and I want to marry her all over again. I gotta go. Before he goes, everybody seems to want to talk to him. Andali wants to talk to him, but before he can get a chance, Zari jumps up and says, I want to talk to you. Two-Face. So they go over to like the next couch and she tells him that, you know, I want to talk about your girl. Your girl thinks that, you know, something's going on. And, you know, Two-Face is like, oh, say what? Oh, okay. You know, he's so blasé. He's so like, you know, doesn't care, you know. And he's like, do you want to mess with her head? Do you want to mess with Annie's head? And she was like, oh, no, if I wanted to mess with her head, I would say that, yes, we slept together. As a matter of fact, you know what? Annie, come over here. And so Annie comes over and She turns over to Two-Face and says, Annie has insecurities. Annie is very insecure about me. She thinks that we're sleeping together or that we slept together. I just want to say this in front of her to you. There's nothing going on. Okay, Annie? Of course, Annie is shocked. Annie is like, say what now? On top of which, why would you say this to my man? Why are you even bringing me into this so ridiculous conversation? I tell you, and I'm going to break it all the way down right here. Annie, the last episode, we talked about the dynamics of how your husband knows Diamond and most probably knows Boss Lady. You are Nigerian, I am Nigerian. So you understand our culture. Two-Face is friends with Diamond. Yeah? Let's just, so you guys can understand. So if Two-Face at any time in the relationship called Diamond, and Diamond happened to be in South Africa in his baby mama's house, good cultured manners, he would have said, una de madam house, make her greet am. Meaning that you're in your girlfriend's house, you're in your woman's house, let me say hello to her. That is what guys do. That is what we do. If I called you, I said, Annie, how are you? How are the children? How is my brother Two-Face? Then perhaps as we are FaceTiming or talking, I hear him, I say, greet him for me, or make a greet him now, make a greet him. Two-Face, how body? I take care of my sister, or hope everything is okay. The reason I bring this up is because you had no reason to even ask Zari, how do you know my husband? The flip side, which I would have done when I got home or when I was talking to my Oko means husband, Ula, I would say, Ula, how do you know Christina? That's exactly what I've said. But you see, the psychoanalysis of it all is that you don't trust yourself to ask him. A, he might not like the question. 2, he might not give you the truth. 3, you don't want to stir any problems. But the question and the answer lies with your husband. You asking Zari, you opened up the can of worms. I'm on your side, Annie. In this case, I think for Zari, it was a little bit too insensitive. She didn't take it like that because Zari has no intention to be with Two-Face. But because Two-Face has had so many relationships, you are really nervous, Annie, that who is she? Could she be a possibility? Anything can happen. After all, Andele is right here, who is Diamond's friend, and trying to get with Zari. So you don't trust anybody. So you constantly attack the female. And that's what a lot of women do that are in relationships. You go for the female instead of going for the guy. You should be confident in your relationship. Whether Two-Face knows her or not, it's not your business. And even if he does and you don't know about it, you pretend like, you're blasé over it. And then when you're behind closed doors, you ask your man, by the way, take a nail file, how do you know Zari? But the mere fact that Zari and Diamond were in a relationship and share 2 children, and Two-Face and Diamond are friends, it's a high probability that he would know of Boss Lady. And that was why Boss Lady dragged him and said, wait 1 minute. You can see the familiarity is in a platonic space. It's not intimate. So, of course now, Annie kind of sort of loses it and laughs. Ha. Guess what? My man likes dark-skinned girls, so it wouldn't be you, sis. And Zari is sharp. I'm going to give it to my South African sister because you know what? Zari is showing boss vibes. She's always calm, I've noticed so far, because we're in episode 4. She turns around and says, darling, but you know they always cheat with the opposite. It was a blow. Fade to black. We're in the same venue. It's the evening now. And Andele now is all up in Zari. Might I also say, this is the most sexy, attractive, most feminine, glossy look I have seen in Zari in a minute. Her hair beautiful. Skin, makeup, she looks gorgeous. She looks now from her 40s to her 30s. She has this gorgeous braid that she just cornrowed on one side of the head, and it really just showed the bone structure of Zari. For the first time, I was really seeing Zari as super attractive. You guys let me know in the comments, because you guys tell me that Zari is a boss lady and sis has 10 million followers. Dare I say, she's one of the highest in the entire cast. But when you say boss, what does she do? What's her business? Does she have businesses and stuff like that? I know that she had, that she was married to a millionaire of whom she had the first 3 children. So is it that money came from there, or is it her personality? Because I will give her that. Her personality is boss. She's constantly cool under pressure because somebody is running after her. Somebody is accusing her. It's one thing or the other. But girlfriend is calm. So Andale comes in. Zari, what are we doing? I mean, is Diamond in the picture? Do you have somebody? She answers all the questions and she says, Andale, it is what it is. You're a vibe. We're a vibe. It's a vibe. Translation, as far as I'm concerned, vibe to jump into the panties. Naked sums it all up. They are horny and they are a little bit irresponsible, which leads to what? Disaster. To which my wonderful Swanky chimes in and it's like, they're a little too close. What's going on? Okay, continue. Enjoy. From there, Naked now has a conversation with Kani. He brings Kani to the side and he says, Kani, my darling, guess what? I want to apologize. You're my friend. So Kani's all in like, To which Naked says, you're digmatized. So you're not reasoning very well. But I'm going to overlook your digmatization. Because I value the friendship even more. So Kani is like, I'm not understanding. Is this an apology or this is an abuse? Because it sounds like a mix. He said, honey, it's a cocktail. Take it like it is. Might I add, Kani was wearing some kind of Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, chandelier, tassel, burgundy red number that was meant for stage. Kani, I want that dress. You're giving it to us. Looks. Kayla now goes on. This is all in this rooftop soiree. Kayla, who is Naked's girlfriend, decides to confide in Swanky. Swanky is that guy. He's just so fabulous. I love his fabulosity. He reminds me of a friend of mine, Lionel. He also reminds me of George. Fabulous. Let's go shopping. Always well dressed. When I tell you, Swanky, I love that Beehive Gucci bag. I'm gonna get it because of you, because I saw it and I was like, yes. Anywho, Swanky's like, yes, darling, tell me everything. So Kayla is there, like, you know what? They were in bed together. That is herself and her boyfriend Naked. Nothing happened. Naked slept. She was like, what? That is Swanky, by the way. What? He says, don't worry, let me handle this. So he now calls Naked and says, Naked, come on, what's going on now? You know it's your fault. Naked said, listen to me. You see, Kayla nags a lot. Let's push that aside. I'm a single dad. I need to have quality time with my boy. She's always at my place. Just there. Nothing productive. If she could, just give me 3 days. For my time, for my space. Out of those 3 days, try not to complain and nag for 2 days straight. Oh my God, everything will rise to the top. Because when I tell you that as soon as she starts, my erection goes all the way down and I just don't want anything from her. Ladies, you have to behave like money. Money means that you have very short access. It comes in, you hold it like this, you value it before you spend it. If your boyfriend, girlfriend, don't be all up in his place. And when I say that, I really, really, truly mean it. Because the more you're there, the less your value. It is true. It is absolutely true. I went to Norway for 1 week. I flew 13 hours. No cookies. We were out. And I came right back. Ula said, no, you know what? Let me quicken up this pace. Marriage. It is true. He said it right there. He said, it's too much. She's constantly at my place. And had it been in the beginning where she had her own life, I had mine, and we're running around doing things. And so that when we come together, we spend quality, valuable time where we have hot, steaming sex. We're cooking, we're laughing, we're enjoying each other. But if you are nagging, I don't want to marry you. I don't want you in my ear. I'm a single father. So right there, Kayla, I tell you right now, you should be taking his son out. Go and do school pickup and drop off. I've been doing it. It's not a joke. It's not a joke because you have to prepare an hour ahead to go and do school pickup. Cook in the house for the two of them. Find other things to do. Don't be in the house too much. I promise you that things will pick up speed. Guys are simple. They call it like it is. They're not asking for too much. The second I began to understand that, I was good. Andili throws a all-white poetry party. Guys, let me tell you, because I'm from back in the day, Puff Daddy started that trend. Puff Daddy had the most beautiful white parties, all white parties in the Hamptons. And the white parties really started in the Hamptons. Girlfriend was there. White chandelier sequin dress. And guess what? We used to take tights, white tights, that's what I would do, and I would dye it in tea, and that would be my panty. Who knew that, Fumi, you know what? You should have started your brand right there. You'd have been a millionaire, because I wanted it to be fluid and mesh. You know, that's what we do. We'd wear a thong panty, and then I would wear that tights all the way up, and then I'd wear the dress over. And they'd be like, Fumi, what are you wearing? I said, no, I just made it. You know, maybe I'll add it to my brand. Anywho, Andile is throwing a all-white poetry party, and he invites his two baby mamas. When I tell you, one of them has light purple hair, gorgeous. In fact, the two baby mamas are gorgeous. Andile, I'm like, oh wow. And apparently, the other baby mama just gave birth to a baby 6 months ago. And here he is, all up in Zari, who also shows up in a white number with a mesh down below. I'm like, Zari, baby, I see how you got 5 kids. So that is that. It's a wonderful soiree, living for it. At this poetry party, Zari and Kani now come to the side, and they're like, what is going on with Annie? All up in our faces, talking about we're renewing our vows. But is this girl not the same one that was crying in the corner at my beautiful party, talking about he did this to me, he did that to me? So both of them are gossiping, basically, you know. And I feel as if it's unnecessary. It's not necessary because Kani, you know, Zari is not feeling her. You know that. So Zari is just trying to find some kind of ammunition to say, yeah, Annie, what are you all about? Because you can tell the bad vibes. Talking about bad vibes, Annie now talks to Kayla about the situation, to the point that Annie is like, you know what? God damn it, I'm going to have a talk with Zari. I'm going to invite her for a drink, and let's get this thing on and popping. Annie walks in a beautiful blue dress, tassels, looking good, might I add. I like the short hair on her, and Zari is there looking beautiful, crimson red lips. The introduction and the hello is short-lived, very, very short-lived, because Annie just jumps right in and says, look sis, let me tell you, I just feel you had no right to come and say I'm insecure in front of my man. That is my home. You have no right. How dare you? So Zari gives her a rundown and says, listen to me. You came to me at tea party. How do you know Two-Face? You went on, and I was trying to understand what's with the insecurities here. This thing is not even that necessary. But Annie was so heated because Zari was very blasé, and she wasn't taking any accountability for it, and threw it back into Annie's face and said, Annie, this is all about you. And I have explained that earlier on. It is about the insecurities you have about your relationship. It's so fragile. It's of crystal glass, and it can break and crack at any time. And I don't think you are equipped to handle it a 6th time. You could have made a friend out of Zari. Zari is not your enemy. Your enemy are all the scandalous relationships that Two-Face have had on you that you have to deal with. And Zari can see through you. Zari is a little insensitive. I will give her that, because Zari is a boss. And when I say Zari is a boss, Zari is very confident. She's very aware of who she is. And I think Zari doesn't appreciate women to behave less than. Like, sis, sit up, Annie, and let Two-Face take accountability. You forgive him too easily, too much, and for everything. Oh, he doesn't appreciate me. Oh, he's careless with me. Oh, he's that with me. No, Annie, that all lies with you. You don't tolerate that. But you do tolerate it. And so you're frustrated. You're angry. It's the same thing with the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. He really did not want to slap Chris Rock. It wasn't Chris in his head. It was Austin. The guy that Jada is sleeping with. That they cooch all over the place with. That's all over town. That's who he was angry at. And he threw his frustration and anger at Chris Rock. It had nothing to do with Chris. He was just all the way bottled up inside. Annie, you are bottled up. You are bottled up inside. This was not Zari's fight. It's not her cross to bear. You guys, I hope you make up somewhere further down the show or the next season, because it can't go down like that. But guess what, guys? It did. F-bombs. Boom, 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 boom. F-bombs. Fuck you, bitch. And Zari said, to hell with you and your rubbish marriage. Darlings, when I tell you, I loved every part of it. When I tell you, the scenery was gorgeous. I was just waiting for the zebras and the lions to come on through, and the tigers, because they really wanted to tear each other's heads off. And that was how episode 4, Bye Bitch, ended. Alright, my darlings, yeah, let me know down in the comment section below how you're feeling about this. I beg, chook mouth. Give me your opinion. All of my love, darlings. Mwah.